My name is Rebecca Lamine. I'm the manager of the South West Neonatal Network. For those of you who aren't familiar with networks, we are commissioned by NHS England, but we oversee specialist services across regions. So we cover the South West Neonatal Network, and there are other networks in trauma and etc. And we're replicated across the country. So we have a responsibility to look after neonatal care, neonatal services and our families across the whole of the South West. We have 12 neonatal units in the South West, and we have many functions as a network, but one of them is to ensure that we improve the consistency and continuity of care for our families. For those of you who don't know about neonatal services, it's a regional service. So you often are, if you have a neonatal or a sick infant, you're often cared for some way from home. So, for example, you could give birth to a baby at 24 weeks in Truro, be transferred to Plymouth and then be transferred up to Bristol for surgery. So many of our families have stays at more than one hospital. At a very traumatic time, and they're away from their family at a time where they really need it. And it's a very worrying time for anyone who's had a baby. The last thing that you expect when you're pregnant is to either give birth early or to give birth to a child that is term but quite sick and needs specialist care. And because often these things happen very quickly, parents are often very unaware about neonatal care. It's not something that we talk about a lot during the antenatal care, although we should do more. And it's not something that parents really think of, because when you're pregnant, the last thing you want to do is to think of the worst case scenario. So we often find that parents come to our services or come to access support and look for information at the very last minute, or when their baby is being transferred in an ambulance up the road and they're following in the car behind, or when they're sitting on an antenatal ward and they know that next morning they're going to have a C-section to deliver their baby. And these are incredibly worrying times, and it's important that we try to alleviate the worries of our parents, because neonatal units are, as specialist places of care, they're also very different to other wards. You can't stay with your infant, for example. Your infant is under the care of the neonatal unit, and although there might be accommodation, and we're going to hear from Plymouth, my colleagues in Plymouth, about their neonatal accommodation in a couple of presentations time, the majority of mums and dads will have to go home, and even more so actually during COVID. So we wanted to have some type of information that was able to empower and educate our parents around their role as well. So once you're on a neonatal unit, what does a unit look like? What can you expect from neonatal care? And how can you, in a time of immense worry, interact very positively with your infant? And when we had a look around, there is nothing out there really. There are some units that have unit tours, but there is nothing that's very easy to digest, particularly as a father or as a sibling. And for those of you who have been patients of any type of care in an emergency, your ability to take in information at time of crisis is very, very challenging. And so we wanted to make this as simple and easy to access as possible. We're very fortunate in the South West that we have a regional charity partner. All of our NHS trusts and our neonatal units have great charity partners at local levels, but we're very lucky to also have a regional charity partner. And this enables us to fund initiatives that benefit the entire region and staff across the region. And so once we had this idea, we went to the charity, which is called the NICU Foundation, and we said, look, we've got this idea of an animation. We don't have the resources, but can you fund this? And they said, it sounds great. Look, start it. We'll help find the expertise to develop this. So we set about writing a script. We got a lot of input from our parents and carers. If we can just pause on this slide, that'd be great. A lot of input from our parent support group that exists across the South West. We sent it out to a whole number of neonatal professionals, nurses and AHP staff, and families, and said, look, this is what we want to include. Can you give your comments? So it was a very much a regional team effort. And I don't know whether we've got time to show you the animation. It's a shame because it is 6 minutes long, so I'd only have 4 minutes to talk then. But since when I wrote this in March, since the launch of this animation, it's been viewed over 10,000 times online in 4 months. And for us, we were not expecting that reaction at all. And in the South West Neonatal Network, we're very much of the opinion that if we develop something, then we want everybody as far and wide as possible to benefit from it. Although this was developed for our units in the South West, we are happy for anyone in the UK and the world to use it. And so as such, we offered it up. And there's a very amazing video platform called vCreate, which is a platform which enables parents to see their children when they're in the neonatal unit. It's like a video platform. And back in March, it was probably in about 20% of our units. As a result of COVID, it's been put in every single neonatal unit. And this animation has been embedded at the beginning of when parents log on. So that one of the first things they can see when they log on to vCreate is to watch this animation. And then they can go on and engage with their baby if they're at home, because there'll be a camera on the neonatal cot or incubator. We sent animation posters to every UK unit and said, look, we've done this. If you want to use it, we're really happy to share. And we offered the file for free worldwide download so that Trust could embed it into their Trust websites as well. And as we stand at the moment, we've gone up now, so 9 countries worldwide use this, and it's embedded in hundreds of trusts and neonatal units across the country, which is fantastic for a small idea of an animation that just started out in Bristol with a very small charity partner. We can go on to the next slide. That'd be great. What's been really helpful is we won a charity film award for this as well this year, which has been wonderful. So, and if people want it, or if Trust want it, then I'm very happy to share so people can get in contact with us. But yeah, if we could watch it, that would be fabulous.
Coming to a neonatal unit is often unplanned and can be a little scary. This animation will help you know what to expect and what an important role you play in your baby's care whilst on a neonatal unit. It will hopefully help reduce some of your initial worries. There are different levels of neonatal units providing different levels of care. The unit your baby will go to depends on the level of care they require and your location. Your baby may stay in for hours, days, weeks, or even months, but remember, this is the best place for them. A neonatal unit can be a stressful and challenging environment for you and your family. There will be lots of unfamiliar noises, alarms and smells. This is normal. The rooms are quite dark with minimal lighting and may feel quite warm. This is for the comfort of the babies. There are many people in a neonatal unit helping you as parents to look after your baby. Their job is to give your baby the best possible care to help them develop. All of the team wear identity badges. If you are not sure who someone is, please feel free to ask. The equipment around your baby may seem overwhelming, but most of it will be routine. Monitors are used to check your baby's vital signs, including their heart rate and breathing. A probe with a light on the foot or wrist monitors how much oxygen is circulating in your baby's blood. Tubes may be attached to your baby, allowing them to receive fluids, nutrition, or medication. Your baby may well be placed in an incubator or warm cot to help regulate their temperature. Breathing equipment may be used if your baby requires help until they are well enough to do it on their own. Your baby may need tests and scans to understand their condition or to see how treatments are working. The nurse or doctor will explain all of this equipment to you when you arrive and be happy to answer any questions you have along the way. As parents, you can be with your baby 24 hours a day. Your units may have specific visiting times for siblings, family and friends. Whenever you enter the unit, you must not wear an overcoat, and you must remove your jewellery and wash your hands or use antibacterial hand sanitizers. If you, your other children or visitors have a heavy cough or cold, we would ask that you do not visit until you feel healthier. There will be notice boards displaying information about the unit and support services. Many units will have a room dedicated to training sessions, such as baby massage. There will also be a parents' room where you can take a break and talk with other parents going through a similar experience. As parents, you are at the centre of any discussions or decisions made about your baby's care. You play a vital role alongside the nursing and medical team. Your baby knows you and is comforted by your smell, voice and touch, and no one can take your place. The nursing team will provide you with information and training, allowing you to take the lead in your baby's care. Being hands-on will help you build confidence and continue your baby's care once they leave the neonatal unit. Mother's milk is perfect and uniquely made for your growing baby's needs. It is especially important for sick or premature babies as it helps protect them from infection and helps them to grow. Until your baby is able to breastfeed, you'll be encouraged to express your milk by pump or hand. This milk will be stored until it is required. Each unit will have an expressing room if you choose not to express next to your baby on the ward. If you wish to formula feed, the unit will support you in this decision and provide the formula your baby needs. Your baby may be fed via a tube until they are able to breast or bottle feed. You will be able to hold your baby while on the neonatal unit. This is really important in developing a bond with your baby. It is beneficial to your baby, helping with their development and enabling them to sleep well. Your nurse will help you to get your baby from the incubator and place them in the correct position on your skin. Whilst on the neonatal unit, parents and family members will be encouraged to interact and bond with their baby. We would encourage you to talk, read and sing songs to your baby. This will help you become more familiar with your baby's needs and signals. While this can be a stressful and emotional time for you and your family, remember, your baby is in the best place and receiving the care that they need.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I think the one thing I would say is that during times of COVID, it's actually proven even more useful because we can't get our parents around to see our units, and often dads and family members and siblings can't get on the unit as much as they used to either at the moment. So I think in hindsight, it's proven to be a really useful tool. And our next one, which is about taking a baby home from neonatal care, will hopefully be out by the end of the year as well. So we're not stopping at one, we're continuing.